Western Sydney dry rainforest is confined to ranges within the Sydney Basin. There's just over 300 hectares remaining, and it's a very small amount of what was there in the first place. So Western Sydney dry rainforest is a collection of plant species that grow in a particular area on a hillside in association with sandstone, and then you've got vine thickets that grow on those. As the seconds go by, you can almost hear the diversity being squeezed out by the African olive that has taken over the landscape here at the Australian Botanic Garden, and it's doing the same in the Razorback and other areas. There's nothing underneath those plants. Our concern is that we're losing that diversity, and once it's gone, it's very hard, if not impossible, to retrieve it. So our aim is to collect the diversity from these landscapes, these remnant areas, and to bring it to the garden, increase the quantity of material that we have, grow it on, and then once it's reproducing, make it available for the region for restoration project. On Mount Annan itself, we've identified an 8-hectare area out of 27 that is suitable for Western Sydney dry rainforest. The majority of remnant areas are on private property, so we need a very much collaborative relationship with landholders to collect that diversity, to preserve it here, build it up in numbers, and then make it available for landholders who may wish to increase the diversity at their property. But we need to repeatedly return to a property to ensure that we are able to collect the material at the best time.
So we've got a 10-hectare property on the top of the Razorback range, and it's very steep, and by the time you get to the bottom you're in thick Western Sydney dry rainforest. We were contacted by the Botanic Gardens because they had a project where they wanted to recreate portions of the Western Sydney dry rainforest on the Mount Annan site. So we were very excited about that because I deeply believe that we're actually preserving something that's special and important. And once it goes, it won't come back.
So we collect fruit that has produced seed, and we'll bring that back to Plant Bank. We remove all the fruits and the coverings and any leaves and other plant material, and then that will get stored within Plant Bank. The plants that we propagate from the collection are intended for installation within our diversity showcase here at the Australian Botanic Gardens. Its purpose is to have block plantings of species that we collect, and from that we'll collect more seed and use it to propagate more plants for the region. The end game on site at the Australian Botanic Garden is to have 50 species that we have not got on site. We have that propagated for ongoing restoration projects. A real dream would be to go from an endangered ecological community to an ecological community that is no longer under threat of extinction.
We've got a feeling that we've been blessed, or we've somehow found ourselves in this place. It's absolutely gorgeous, and on top of that it has this amazing habitat, the Western Sydney dry rainforest, that is endlessly fascinating from a scientific and an educational perspective. We intend to preserve our block as native bushland. We're doing whatever we can to make sure that it is preserved.